In today's video, I'd like to address the pink elephant in the room. That is, of course, alcohol. Hey everybody, I'm Bradford, your carnivore curmudgeon. I am an actual carnivore and I am not an actual curmudgeon most of the time. But to me, alcohol is something in the carnivore community, the keto community, that's sort of danced around. It's addressed many times with a wink and a nod. In other words, people will ask questions about alcohol, or they want to know, should they drink alcohol? Can they drink alcohol? And while I will say it's getting better in some aspects of the community, for many months I've watched the different things on this topic, and most of the time it's addressed with, if you're going to drink, here's what you should drink. But I also know that there are a number of people who would like to know, how do I quit drinking alcohol? And the carnivore diet is something that can be instrumental in quitting drinking alcohol. That's both beneficial to your carnivore goals, or if you just want to quit drinking alcohol, the carnivore way of eating can assist in a number of ways. Today's video is not about a lecture about the alcohol. Most of us know, especially if we want to quit, we've done the work, we've looked into it, we know the dangers of alcohol, we know that it's poison to our bodies, we know that it causes other bad choices, including food. So then you have the food choice on top of the alcohol, which just ends up in a snowball that may last for days, weeks, or even months for some people. So I'd like to share with you 5 tips that I think will be beneficial to you in your overall endeavor to quit drinking alcohol, if you choose to do that, utilizing the carnivore diet. And I'm going to start with the most obvious. In the carnivore diet, we know that fatty red meat especially is a key to good health. And that includes stopping the consumption of alcohol, especially if we are the type of person who abuses alcohol. Fatty red meat, eggs, bacon, all of the staples of the carnivore diet can be beneficial to you because they promote high satiety. If you eat fatty red meat, if you eat bacon, if you eat eggs, if you eat lamb, if you eat chicken or fish or whatever type of foods that are fundamental to the carnivore diet, those things are going to trigger other things, especially hormones in your body, that tell you that I'm really not craving these other things anymore. If you've already started the carnivore diet and you've had success with this regarding sugar or snacks or highly processed foods, you know by experience that the carnivore diet and the keto diet and the ketovore diet, I'm not leaving out any of these, can be really helpful and can punch cravings in the face. This is also true with alcohol. It releases these hormones and it curbs cravings, and it cannot be spoken highly enough as the #1 key to helping yourself to quit alcohol. Number 2, this goes hand in hand with eating the right thing, and this is, I've seen by personal experience and I've heard by anecdotal experience from others, that eating early enough and at the right time can help you to curb your alcohol cravings. There are a lot of different things that trigger different people when it comes to their craving for alcohol. I've had a long day, I deserve it. I've had a long week, I really need one. My boss is a dick, I could sure use a drink. On and on and on the excuses come at us. We're not responsible for the things that come at us. We're responsible for what we do with them once they hit our mind. And by eating earlier in the day, it can help for many people who get those afternoon, evening cravings for alcohol. If you've drank alcohol, especially if you've abused alcohol in the past, you know that many times the empty stomach is where you want the alcohol because it goes to your head the fastest. So if you fill that void with good, nutritious, carnivore, keto, or ketovore foods early enough, then once again, you can punch that craving right in the face. Number 3, replace your drinking time with something else. Obviously, the carnivore diet, we've just hit number 1 and number 2, but sometimes you need something additional than just sitting and eating. in order to quit drinking alcohol if you associate certain things with alcohol, watching sports on television, even cooking good things in the kitchen, or doing work around the house, hanging out with friends, on and on and on. You have to be honest enough to recognize what triggers your cravings, and then you have to replace them or avoid them in order to get over the hump of the association. I heard someone one time say that you have to do something 6 times before it begins to be a habit. Not becomes a habit, but begins to become a habit. But it does get easier as time goes on. Replacing your drinking time with something like exercise or hobbies or other interests, even reading or playing a game or a puzzle. I know it all sounds mundane, but the point is it doesn't even have to be the same thing every time. But if you replace the drinking time that you're associating with the alcohol, that can be beneficial and helpful towards your overall goal if you want to quit. Number 4 goes hand in hand with number 3, but more specifically going towards what we actually consume. If you're a beer drinker, you may want to try drinking sparkling water. That fizz can sometimes help people to quell the desire for the alcohol in beer, or from the taste of beer if you enjoy the taste of beer. Just drinking enough water during the day, and especially during those trigger times, can help to squash an alcohol craving. If you're a liquor drinker, the hard liquor type drinker, it sounds strange, but you can try some sparkling water with some apple cider vinegar in it, and that little bite can help to ease our mind and our craving for something it's not the alcohol itself, but for the taste and the association. And it's not something that you have to do every day, all day for the rest of your life, but to get to the point where you can be in control of the cravings, this can be a help. And there are some people who have said that supplements can help them. One of the most interesting ones to me I heard about was Dr. Eric Berg, who you can find on YouTube, discussing Kudzu root. And this is something that you don't have to go out and pick your own kudzu off the side of the road and boil it down. It's something that's actually sold in tablets, tablet form these days. You can find it on Amazon. I'll put a link down below to an Amazon product that if you wanted to give it a try, it doesn't cost very much, but apparently some folks say that it does help them to curb the alcohol craving. So whatever helps. And number 5, accountability. This is something that is very subjective. Some people do well within a program, and other people do not do well within a program. They are too independent, and they buck against the system when it comes to being fenced into a particular set of parameters. But some people, the accountability of a program helps them, whether that's Alcoholics Anonymous, a church group, friends. Many times your closest loved ones are not the best for the accountability, because it's easier by human nature for us to just blow them off and say, well, they're going to love me anyway. But people outside of our immediate family or outside of our immediate loved ones can be much more helpful when it comes to accountability, because for some reason we tend to care more about what they think of us than the people who love us the most. And when it comes to accountability, never underestimate the importance of you being the front line of your own accountability. Speak to yourself. Remember, you're in charge of your mind, which is then in charge of your actions. So tell yourself, ask yourself, if I drink, how am I going to feel later? If I drink, what are my food choices going to be later that probably wouldn't happen if I didn't drink? If I drink, how am I going to feel in the morning? If I drink, how's it going to affect my sleep? Starting by talking to yourself can get you to the point that you decide not to take action for reaching for that first drink, or for stopping at the store to buy that first drink. And then, if you need additional help, you can always get others involved. Checking in each day with your accountability partner can really be helpful. You don't just have to say to them, I didn't drink today. You can tell them other things about your day. Find somebody who's willing to listen, even if it's by text. Tell them about your weight loss to date. Tell them about what you ate on the carnivore diet that helped curb your cravings today. If it's a friend that's not into carnivore way of eating, it may encourage them to check out the benefits, the health benefits of the carnivore, ketovore way of eating. And then it's beneficial to you as well. Now, I understand that there is no one magic bullet. That's why I put together 5 things that may be helpful. All 5 or a combination of one or more of them may be helpful. And I understand that it still comes down to an individual decision. No matter what anybody says, it's still up to us. You know, you've heard the term, it's not your fault, but it is your problem. Some of us are genetically disposed to forms of addiction, but it's still our mind that tells our hand to pick up that drink. It's still our mind that tells our body to drive to the store and to purchase alcoholic beverages. And so like anything else, it all comes down to personal decision. But these things can help to bolster your personal decision if they're put in place in the right way. All of this is very easy to say because it's sort of generalized, but I am encouraged again by more and more of the community, especially Dr. Ken Berry and some of his mentors I have heard recently talking about the downfalls of drinking alcohol to our health and the encouragement to not drink alcohol, just like the encouragement to not eat sugar or highly processed foods. One of the things I heard Dr. Berry say not long ago, which I thought was very, very astute, was if you screw up and slip up today, that just you start again tomorrow. And each day that you don't drink is another day that you didn't drink. And maybe the goal is this week I'm going to not drink. This is not what he said. This is what I'm saying. Maybe this week your goal is to not drink 4 days out of the 7. Then maybe next week it's 5 days out of the 7. And next month it's 2 weeks out of the 4. And then it's 3 weeks out of the 4. And then it's 4 weeks out of the next 2 months, whatever it takes. These are not excuses or encouragement to slip up. It's just whatever it takes to get back on the horse and to help yourself to meet your personal goals. And if that goal is to quit drinking alcohol, to benefit yourself overall health-wise, and for both short-term and long-term, then I hope that this video helped you. And I'd love to hear your comments. And rarely do I say this. In fact, I don't know that I've ever said this, but if you think that this video might be encouraging and help to someone else, then I would ask that you like it and share it. And you won't hear me say that very often. That's just the curmudgeonly part of me that does exist. Best wishes, and I hope to see you next time.